Hey guys, it's Barry bringing you a video about how to bust bluffs and advanced reading on players. Here we're at $100 no limit, 6 max table. Some of these guys were unknown. We know this player, he's pretty good. And then we knew this player was a big donkey fish. So anyway, we'll just play out the hand and we'll talk through it. So you get two folds and then a raise, and then we call in position. So this guy's range was pretty wide to be opening in the cutoff. Let's just have a look here. So here it shows 14, but on his actual cutoff percentage was something more like 24, 25. So we didn't mind calling this guy in position. Additionally, he folded a lot on the flop. 75%, so we figured we might be able to outplay this guy. So we decided to call on the button, and everyone else folds, I believe. So here comes the flop. So I'm figuring there is a small chance he has a jack here, but you know, not likely. So we let the hand play out here. He checks to us, and then we check behind. And the reason we check behind here is actually to try to show this guy some strength. So again, if we look at our stats, now we know that this player is playing with stats. He knows how we're playing, and we're betting out on the flop frequently. So for us to actually not bet out kind of represented strength, or that was the idea. We were trying to represent strength by checking behind. So here comes the turn, and he leads out. Now, I believe as well that his turn aggression was quite high. So let's just have a look to confirm here. Yeah, so his turn aggression was higher than his flop aggression. So we're figuring here, okay, you know, we check behind, so he's just going to try to fire out in this raised pot on the turn. So we decide to float this guy, or no, actually we decide to raise this guy, I believe. Yeah, so we raise, so we min raise him here. And the reason we min raise is because a min raise on the turn is generally a very strong hand from players, and we're trying to just rep a lot of strength, like we flopped a set of jacks or sixes or something, and check behind on the turn. And so as well, we went for the raise here, knowing that we should have some fold equity, and if he only just calls here, he's likely to just be on a draw. So he ends up calling us, and then we get a jack. So at this point, we definitely don't think he has a jack. He could have a 10, but at this point we were putting him on hearts because he checked behind, then the second heart hit, and then he bet out on the heart. So we weren't really putting him on king queen, but we were putting him on a heart draw at this point. Definitely, we're like 80 to 90% sure he was drawing when he just called our min raise on the turn. So then he bets out pretty big. Now, this is pretty indicative of a jack, but again, we were putting him on a draw, and we know that this guy's a good player, and recognizing this bet really looks like a jack. And knowing that he's able to orchestrate a bet size of a jack, we continue to just play on and trust our read, and we end up calling here with ace high and taking down the pot. So, I mean, again, you don't want to be making this play all the time unless you have a thorough read on your player, and even then you could definitely be wrong, but we were pretty confident, having played, you know, about 200 hands with this player, and really understanding, you know, how he plays, and you know, whether or not it was primarily on the turn when he just called. So I mean, if he had a big hand there, I think he's either raising us right there, or calling and then checking on the turn and going for a check call. The fact that he bet out that jack when we min raised on the turn means that he probably doesn't have the jack, because if he did, he'd probably go for the check raise on the river, seeing that we've repped strength on the turn, so we're probably going to be betting out on the river. So that again helped us read that he did not have a jack, and again kind of solidified that he may have a busted draw here. We went for the call and turned out to be correct. So again, just an example of reading players and defending against big bluffs on the river. I hope you guys learned something from this video.